And wait for recording. If my computer works right.
Recording in progress.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 10th Strategic Planning Committee meeting. I've asked Councilman Mason to give the invocation and pledge.
All right, everybody, please bow your heads and prepare yourself for prayer. Heavenly Father, we appreciate you allowing us to meet safely tonight from the comfort of our homes via Zoom. And I hope that you allow us to make good decisions for the people of Ascension. And as Coach says, let us agree to disagree so we can make sure that what we're doing is in the best interest of our people and make sure that we are helping protect everybody that can hear us. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And in our Father's name, we say amen.
Amen.
Told you I'm not good at that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I'd like, as far as chairs additions tonight, first off, I'd like to ask if we could have the agenda read.
So we have chair's addition, public comment, which will be for a 10-minute period. After that, we will have general business. Item A, discussion on amending the Home Rule Charter, Section 4-18, Planning Commission, and then to adjourn.
Okay, and can you put that, or can we put that number up for the public comment? And we're going to have 10 minutes. Is that correct, you said?
Yes, sir, that is correct, 10 minutes.
And we have it posted on the live stream on 21 Facebook and YouTube. We're showing that graphic as well.
Okay, and can we give it out loud? What is it?
Public comment number 225-621-8636. Enter precipitation code 939496.
One more time, that's cost 225-621-8636. Participant code 939496.
That is correct.
Do we have any callers?
We have to wait the 10-minute period. I started the time. Okay.
Working on the graph.
Are we live?
Yeah, I'm working on pulling up the graphic for you.
Yes. How are we looking on time?
You have 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, the 10-minute period is up and you have 9 callers.
Okay, before we get to the callers, I do have a couple of chair positions, or one chair position. I just wanted to let everyone know that Zoom meetings are not ideal for the type of meeting and the type of situation we're in. And as the chairman of strategic, next meeting that I have, as long as we don't actually have a lockdown, or as long as no one else in the community is doing Zoom or any lockdown, we will have ours in person, because I know it's a lot easier for the public to get out there, and it's a lot easier for people to give their comment and give their input. I kind of feel silly whenever my kids are going to school and I'm sitting here on a Zoom meeting. But we're here. Let's make the best of it. And next time I plan, unless it's against the law, I plan to have an in-person meeting. But let's move to the public comment.
Okay. The first person we have is Susan Jordan. Susan Jordan, you have 3 minutes to speak.
Okay, thank you. Hi, this is Susan Jordan to speak on the proposal tonight to amend the Home Rule Charter to have our parish council vote to either deny or approve new development. As I understand it now, the Planning and Zoning Commission decides whether new developments are approved or denied. The people who are making these decisions now are appointed, not elected. We need our planning and zoning to advise only and have our elected council vote to deny or approve new subdivisions. The citizens of Ascension want to see who on the council is voting for the wishes of developers and contractors instead of voting for the wishes of the good people of Ascension, who are being flooded and sitting in gridlock traffic from overbuilding. I'm urging you to vote to approve the amendment to the Home Rule Charter, which will ensure that our elected council members are the ones to vote to deny or approve new subdivisions. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
Sonny Edwards, you will have 3 minutes to speak.
I wish to vote in favor of the Planning Commission being as an advisory only, and that the decision be made by the council so that when the recall is done, we'll have the right people in the council to take over. That'll be all.
Thank you, sir. Stacy Villiers?
Yes, Stacy Villeneuve, thanks.
Okay, you have 3
yes,
minutes to speak.
How you doing, Stacey?
Good. Hey, so yeah, Miss Susan Jordan, I heard her, completely agree with everything she just said. I also would ask that you please support that amendment to amend the Home Rule Charter. So again, thank you. I'm on the road, so I got to hang up now, but in support of it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Phillip?
Yes. I would also like to say that I'm in favor of this. The Planning and Zoning Commission needs to be an advisory role. The people of Ascension need a direct route to the folks who are approving and denying different developments, so that we can judge them based on how they approve and deny. And so with the Planning and Zoning Commission not coming before the voters, moving through the parish council where it could be before the voters is very much the way to go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Chase Tomplay?
Yes, I want to just say that I am in favor of that motion to make the planning and zoning just an advisory board as well. That's it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Katrina?
Hi. I'm in favor of changing to where the planning and zoning only makes recommendations and the council has the final say. I'm also requesting that all meetings be done in public from now on. There's no reason to have Zoom meetings at this time. And I want to thank Mr. Robert for getting this where it works, where we can call in and make comments. This meeting is so much more professional than last night, and I want to thank you for that, Mr. Robert.
Thank you for calling. I do appreciate it.
Denise Drago.
Hi, my name's Denise Drago, and I'm calling, and I'm 100% in support of a change in the homeroom charter to make the parish council members who are voted in by the people to make the decisions on approving or denying future subdivisions, not an appointed planning commission who voters cannot hold accountable in any way. I don't think that the traffic studies are viable. They do not look at what it does to the neighbors and the surrounding land. And I think that needs to be addressed and people stop flooding. Flooding is a real issue going on, people that never flooded before, and that's why I would like this changed, because I think we need to look at it and protect the citizens of Ascension Parish. We welcome other people, but we need smart growth, not what's been going on. And so I ask all of you to vote in favor of changing the home rule charter for the well-being of the people of Ascension. And thank you, Mr. Robert, for getting this fixed where we do have a voice and getting this on. It's a much needed thing that I have fought for and said for many years. This would be a positive thing for Ascension Parish. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate your comments.
I'm sorry, Chris Abear.
Hey, could you guys hear me?
We cannot hear you, Chris.
You can or you can't?
We can. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so two comments. So it's my understanding that the Planning and Zoning Commission a few years back actually sent recommendations to certain council members regarding things that would ultimately tighten up some of the, I guess, the building codes here in our parish. And, you know, I don't know if this kind of, I guess, developed as a result of this, but I'm in 100% favor of planning and zoning should be advisory only, and that the council should ultimately have final approval. I also believe, Joel, in this presentation, that it should include time limits on our on these appointments. You know, so we shouldn't have people who are sitting on this advisory committee, you know, for 4 and 5 and 6 years at a time. So there needs to be some type of term limits. Other than that, appreciate it, man. I do agree that, you know, we should be meeting in a public forum and not on Zoom. It is my understanding that you guys are the only public body in the state that's actually meeting by Zoom. So I really appreciate you putting that out there, man.
Thank you, sir. I do appreciate your comments.
Cheryl Myers.
Okay, it's Cheryl Myers, and I just want to say that I am in favor of changing the homeroom charter so that the council members will have the final say in planning and development. And pretty much I just want to say ditto to what all the speakers before me have said. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call.
That was the last caller. That's all we have by callers.
Okay, I'd like to go ahead and start off the agenda item. I put this on the agenda today because it's obviously something that is very dear to the citizens of this parish. If you ask 10 citizens what the biggest issue and biggest problem in this parish is, it's going to be one of two things. That's overdevelopment or flooding drainage. Both of those are related. Now, we already make all the decisions in zoning. All of the zoning decisions come before the council. There's absolutely zero reason that us, as the elected officials of the council, should not be the ones making this decision. And you know, something that really sparked an interest in putting this on this particular agenda, the last meeting of the planning and zoning, I believe it was the last meeting. Matt Pryor was answered a citizen who said that the planning commission needed to be recalled. And his answer was that the planning commission cannot be recalled. And that's not okay. If this is the biggest problem, or one of the two biggest problems for citizens in this parish, we should have an elected official making this final decision. Now, with that said, the planning and zoning is very needed, very necessary. And they do a great job. In no way, shape, or fashion do I think they don't. I'm not trying to sit and go through as a council and look through each of these developments, look through each of these family plots, look through each of these different projects from top to bottom, make sure they're online. I'm not trying to do everything. We still want and we still need the planning commission to vet all of these projects. Ideally, I'd like to be able to have people appointed to the planning commission that the people of this parish approve of and have no issues with. And if that's the case, then I won't have to. I mean, we can put this on a consent agenda. We could put all of what approved, if it's approved, if anybody has any issues with it, if any citizens have any issues with any particular development, we can pull it off of that consent agenda and then deal with it then. Right now, it doesn't work that way. Right now, if planning and zoning approves a development, there's nothing that citizens can do to appeal to the council. But if development is denied by planning and zoning, the developers can go to the council and appeal. Now that's just setting the people of the parish as a common citizen up for failure. Why are we giving the developer avenues to pursue development while we're taking some away from the constituent? I feel this would be it's got to be an amendment of the Home Rule Charter. I'm obviously going to go and get some more viewpoints from our fellow councilmen. But I just wanted to push the fact that I'm not trying to go through this and I'm not trying to put all of this work on a plate because I don't believe it will amount to that. What I believe is that the planning and zoning will do what they're supposed to. They will do a job that makes the people of this parish have no doubts or no concerns about the decision they make or why they make those decisions. And if they have any issues with it, it is not fair to them to make that decision and it not come back on us, because they have to make these decisions based on our ordinances, our codes, and it's not fair. We should not put that on them as an appointed official. I'm going to go ahead and listen to some other members on the board. Assuming everyone wants to give some input, I'll start out with Councilman Ogeron. Councilman Ogeron, any questions, any comments?
I apologize, sir. I didn't hear you call my name.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. We can agree on this subject, Joel. I believe that the people, the citizens of this parish have the right to question how our government works on a regular basis. And the idea of opening up a charter convention and addressing not just this issue, but other issues within our charter, I think would be a very viable solution and a very viable action for all of us in the parish. So, I don't know if the entirety of the parish would agree or disagree with ridding ourselves of the Planning and Zoning Commission's authority to make these final decisions. But I think they have the right to vote on it. And I strongly believe that what we should present to the full council is the opportunity of our having a charter revision convention where we will get together and we will address this issue as well as other issues. We vet out those issues that the commission wants to put before the public, and I think the public should get a chance to vote up or down on a number of these charter changes. So, I fully support your movement at this point, and I stand behind you with the idea of let's get the charter revision back to the people and let's let them address these changes that are necessary. So, thank you for bringing this forward.
Thank you, Councilman Ogeron. Now, I'm proposing we revise one statute of the charter. I'm not proposing that we do a charter revision incomplete, but hey, let's talk about it. Let's see what everyone else thinks. My goal here is to get something accomplished, and if we just open this up to let's open up the whole home rule charter and figure everything out and change everything, I don't think that's necessary. I feel if they have any issues with it, I'll be more than happy strategic planning to bring each one of them up if there's any issues, and we can address them before this is done in the council. This is going to be a long process in the sense that it's going to have to go before the council, and after it goes before the council, it's going to have a super majority to even go to where it goes to the voters. So we'll have some time in that process, and I agree we may need to look at a few more things, but I appreciate your comments. Go ahead, Corey.
Can I finish? May I respond?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. Because, I know you're hearing the call to eliminate planning and zoning. I haven't gotten any of those calls from anyone, but I appreciate you doing that. I've gotten questions from folks as far as, is the current structure of our council best suited to represent the parish as a whole? Should we increase?
When I say that, Councilman, no, I'm not saying that we need to bring up these issues now. Tonight, the agenda is only speaking of the issue to amend the home rule charter to change the planning and zoning edition of it.
Well, I understand that, but you
concern.
realize that we need to
put it on an agenda in the future, but this won't be the night for that.
But we do realize that that's going to require a vote of the people.
Yeah,
that it would have to go to a vote of the people, and I'm thinking that if we're going to go to the expense of having an election to make a determination, I think it would be viable and in the best interest to have all ideas that the public is presenting to us viable for change.
And that gives us a great opportunity with this moratorium. Let's see what we can get through. Let's set a timeline and let's see if we can get there. But if we don't get it in time, I don't want to stop one thing.
Let's go.
Let's go to Michael. Michael, you look like you're ready to talk.
I don't know how I look any different than anybody else, but thank you.
Because you look like you're ready to talk and they don't.
Okay. I actually kind of agree with Corey that I do think there are some more issues that we do need to address, but I agree with you, Joel, in the sense that this is the agenda item that we're talking about tonight. Corey, I have had other concerns come up about the home rule charter, and there is some stuff that I would like to revisit as well. And I think that, if we get this through, our committee and then it goes to full council and we get that super majority and it goes to a vote, then who's to say, I think the next election's in October and then there's one in March after that. So we won't have to necessarily call a special election for this. I think these can wait for the next scheduled election. But, on this subject, particularly because I'm kind of a stickler for agendas sometimes, I agree. I think everybody here, we all realize that there is kind of a disconnect, that this is the only board or commission in the parish that does get to make decisions. The rest just make recommendations. And I think at the end of the day, we as council members are the ones that are liable. I mean, we're the ones that, how many times have we all gotten the emails saying, please don't approve this, please deny this, please approve this, please this. I mean, we all get these emails and it's really out of our hands at the end of the day. So I would like us to at least have more of the voice than just showing up to meetings and expressing our concerns. I love the idea of it being automatically put on consent agenda. And then if for some reason we feel that we don't like the decision or we want to discuss it at least, then we can pull it from consent agenda. I'm okay with that. And I just think that there needs to be, like Joel said, a kind of a fail-safe for the citizens as well, because it is unfair. The developers get to appeal a denial, but the citizens don't get to appeal approval. So I think that would at least give, and also I believe it would give the parish president, whoever he may be at the time, or she, the ability to veto. So that gives the parish president an ability as well. So I think there's just a lot of people that are kind of taken out of this equation because we do allow planning and zoning to make decisions instead of recommendations. So I'm absolutely all on board on this one. And Corey, I will be glad to sit down with you and have the conversations with the things that I've heard that people want to change about the home rule. And we can bring those to Joel. And I know he'll be glad to put them on the next planning. Words, y'all, words. Strategic planning agenda is what I was trying to say. Thank you for my time.
Thank you. Michael, I appreciate your comments. And I do want to reiterate a point you brought up. The Planning and Zoning Commission does a great job. They do a lot of work. I see that. I understand that. And that's what I mean by putting it on the consent agenda. Putting it on the consent agenda, I mean, we're good. It's just like, you do your homework, you turn it in, and it's a pop quiz every once in a while. We're not going to check them all, but if we do, you're good. Go ahead, Mike.
I do want to say that I did speak to a couple of former planning and zoning commission members today because I like to get there. I mean, they're the guys and the people, the ladies and gentlemen that deal with this on a daily basis. And I asked them about it. And a lot of them had a couple of concerns. And I would just like, I feel like it wouldn't be, proper for us not to talk about the concerns that they have. One of those being that we are the appellate board for appeals. So one of the things that I did very brief homework on this, but I found that if we are the decision makers, then our decision would kind of be final because we wouldn't have to be an appellate board because the planning and zoning would have their initial one. And so then we would make the final one. So the appellate board, and since the appellate board wouldn't be necessary because we are the government. And if they don't like our decision, then they can take that up with us directly. So that was one of the concerns that was addressed. The other one was, I should have brought my notes with me. I'm sorry, I was caught in traffic on the way home and I didn't get to take good notes. I'll think of it though. But the other one was the little bitty things. I think, Joel, you kind of addressed this. Little things like family partitions and stuff, like they have expertise on that we don't have because we don't have to deal with that on a daily basis. So that's why I think we said we would love to put that on consent agenda because we do need their expertise because they do follow the laws and they know the laws a lot better than we do. They know the land code better than we do. So I do think as long as they get that first look and then they get to kind of dig through it and do all the research. And then, because like many other boards and commissions, most of the time we do take their recommendations. I can, if it says, the planning department recommends this as approval, most of the time we do go through it. And of course we're going to have our objections sometimes, but I think that as long as we, like you said, Joel, put it straight on consent agenda and we pull it off as needed, I think it's kind of a win-win for everybody. Now I'm done.
How you doing, Dempsey? You ready? Do you have any questions, any comments? You're on mute. We can't hear you.
How about now, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Back to the recommendations. I think it's been about 8 years since we had any revision or a committee looking at all of the charter and different things. I think it's about time for that. But also, I'd like staff recommendation with this also. I haven't heard anything from our staff. And I don't know, it was a while back. We all had to attend classes for development and different things. I know all of our members on the planning and zoning, you have to attend so many hours of training. So I would recommend that, councilman, everyone with anything with development, you need to put your time in with these classes, with the training. And I think it's time for, and look, I'll support revisited this, but we need to move the parish forward, not backwards. So that's my comments. Thank you.
I do appreciate your comments, Dempsey. And I want to touch on the point you made on two aspects of it. The classes and the professionalism and the know-how and I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, we're ignorant compared to the Planning Commission because they do this all the time. They study this, they get classes for it. I completely agree. We need to have some more of these classes. And I think I don't see any issue with any of the other council members going to them. I mean, I'm always happy to learn and become a little bit more educated in different fields like this. Now, second fold of what I wanted to discuss on that is the fact that I do want to reiterate I'm going to lean on these members of the planning and zoning. And it's almost to the point where I think this could help make a relationship and create a working environment that doesn't exist now. I speak to the planning commission because I'll speak to different members, because often I will have residents call me about developments that are proposed, or several different reasons that you would talk to members of the planning commission, and it's good to have that relationship with them. But if it was to the point where they knew it was coming to us after or afterward, I feel like that dialogue could be started earlier, to the point of where we would really never, I don't say never, would really never, because I think a barometer here will be the citizens. If nobody's having any issues with any of these developments whenever they come in before us, I'm not saying don't do your due diligence and look through them if you choose. But I feel us as elected officials, we would be fine leaning on the planning and zoning without the public outcry. And if we have any issues, we can pull it off. So thank you for your comments, Dempsey. I believe Travis's room has been there the whole time. Are you there, Travis? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yes,
how you doing, sir?
And I gotta reiterate what Dempsey and Corey and Michael said. I think, if we're gonna do it for one particular item, we need to try to just have a meeting on the entire charter and see what are the revisions that may be up for discussion or put up for a vote.
I appreciate it. I'm going to address that again. We're going to have to look at what's on our agenda. Our agenda tonight is to address this planning commission and to address the home rule charter concerning this. I would hope that we would give the same amount of attention to each and every one of these other recommendations that we would want to make on this home rule charter. So as I will sit here and agree with each and every one of you that we should take a stronger look and possibly even look at opening the home rule charter and doing some type of convention to changing more than just this. But I am going to ask that someone make a motion to pull this forward, to move this forward independently. And I extend the invitation, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, any issues, anything, language that y'all have with this home rule charter, bring it to me. We will put it on the next meeting's agenda. Okay. Guaranteed. Next meeting's agenda, we will address them. The different steps and the different phases that we have to go through for this will easily let us put these on one or multiple elections, sort of like Michael was saying. I mean, we have elections throughout the year that are already scheduled. So with that said, I will ask for someone to make a motion to push this to the full council.
Real quick, Joel, if you don't mind, excuse me. I'm sorry. I will make your motion, but I would like to say.
No, it's not my motion. It would be your motion if you're making it.
I'm sorry. I will make the motion to push this to full council, but I would also like to request that maybe after next week's council meeting, we can call another strategic planning meeting. So we're not waiting a full calendar month. And that way we can bring up, that'll give us time to do some research on the home rule charter, reach out to other people, get some other issues that are being brought up. So that way this is all not being, pushed way, way, way down the line. Because I think
that's a great idea. I'd like to hear from some of the other members about that same idea tonight.
Okay. Yeah. So I do make a motion to push it to full council.
Well, continue anyway.
Okay. So, and with that being said, I make the motion to push this to full council.
Okay. Do any of the other members of the council have any issues with calling a special meeting so we can address some of these other charter revisions this month? Corey?
Thank you, Joel. I think we need to finish addressing Michael's motion before we start talking about other items. I mean, I don't want to correct you, but I think that's the proper procedure. And I saw Michael nodding his head up and down. Okay. So I think he's in agreement as well.
Got you. How about you, Travis? Do you feel like you'll have some time for another meeting after this?
Yes.
Okay. And Dempsey,
Yeah,
would
definitely.
you be willing to meet on this? Another meeting this month? Or, I mean, you can get back to me. I'm not trying to hold you on the spot, but I feel like if we have a somewhat consensus, we can move forward pursuing it.
Can you hear me, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I want our staff. I want to reach out to our staff, and before I make any decisions here. I mean, it's just we depend on these are professionals that we have in place, and I'd like to get with Jerome and Lance and a few other ones. That's just the way I feel.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and second Michael's motion. Does anyone have any comment? Any more questions? Yes, sir.
Thank you. I would ask the board to entertain my amendment to your motion that we submit the idea of having a full charter revision convention going forward. And so I would amend Michael's motion to include the full charter, not just this one particular issue on the charter. So that's my amended motion before the board. I guess you need a call for a second.
I'd second that.
So
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry. I'm confused. Can Corey?
I don't think you can amend a motion to that, Corey. The agenda item, actually, I'm going to say you can't amend that because the agenda item is not anything to do with a convention for this. The agenda item is strictly planning commission.
If it requires a home rule charter,
if we have a parliamentarian or an attorney that can say otherwise, then
I mean,
that's fine. But if not, then we're going to have to.
I believe my amendment is sound, and I think it needs to be voted on before we go forward.
So we'll move forward on Michael's motion, voting. We'll do a roll call vote.
Joel, you really don't want to do that.
We have to do something on Corey's amended motion first. Otherwise, yours is
Well,
not
do
going
we
to
have a parliamentarian or someone, because the amended motion is not a proper amended motion. I'm not willing to blow a meeting over a wrong motion.
No, but why is his not a valid amended motion? I'm just curious. I don't know the rules as well.
Because the planning and zoning commission is the agenda item, not a constitutional convention.
I'm confused.
Do we have an attorney tonight? No, we don't.
No, not for commissions.
Okay, well, all right, let's go on forward. Boy, what is your amendment?
I want to look at yours again. The agenda item says discussion on amending the Home Rule Charter, Section 418 Planning Commission. My motion is to strike the language that says Section 418 Planning Commission and have the motion fully state amending the Home Rule Charter. So we'll just strike that language. And this would be under the handling of amendments to strike out words. That is under Robert's Rules of Order. Let's see if I can get you the exact.
What kind of motion you need to make for me?
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the ruling.
Are we doing a amendment, or what are we doing?
He's doing an amended motion, so he's amending my motion. So we have to vote on his amended motion.
So it's not a substitute motion?
No, because he's just taking out language. He's just taking out language.
Okay. And we have a second on that. Let's
Yeah,
go ahead and do a
Dempsey
roll call vote on the amended motion.
It's on. We can hear y'all.
Okay. All right. Roll call vote. Michael Mason,
No.
Corey Ogeron,
Yes.
Dempsey Lambert,
Yes.
Travis Turner,
Yes.
and Joel Robert.
No. So that makes us move the substitute or the amended motion passes. That changes to what we vote on. If you could read the new agenda item or new motion that we're voting on.
Yes, sir. Is that the last item on the agenda?
It's the only item on the agenda.
No, it's the first, sir.
And last?
Yep. So, Corey, can you reread your motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Discussion on it.
Adjourn.
No, we got to vote on the motion. We voted to amend it, right? So don't we have to actually vote on it now?
It passes.
We voted to amend the motion. Now we want to vote to send it to the council.
We can vote again. I mean, it'll be fine.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's vote to send it to the council.
I move that we pass the, I move that we pass the amended motion to the full council for a discussion and vote.
Okay, cool. And that was just striking out the language of the particular.
Striking out the languages.
Okay. And we have that, Secretary?
Do we have a second?
Let's go ahead and do a roll call vote.
We didn't get a second yet.
Second. Let's do a roll call vote.
Okay. Michael Mason,
No.
Corey Ogeron,
Yes.
Dempsey Lambert,
Yes.
Travis Turner,
Yes.
Joel Robert,
Yes. So it looks like that motion will pass
Thank
to
you.
the full council.
And again, Joel, I really
entertain a
think you're on the
motion
right
to adjourn.
direction. Joel, I really think you're on the right direction. I think we need to have a full discussion of the whole charter, and I want to thank you for bringing this forward to us, so that we can get it going. So thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
To adjourn.
Second.
I got transportation after this.
Sounds great. And with the
Transportation, this
adjournment of the
transportation
meeting,
really want to go forward tonight.
I want to give everybody a heads up. We will be reaching out for a special meeting because I'm serious about this. Let's push this forward, and I'm excited. Let's do this. We have a time clock ticking on this moratorium. Let's listen and let's use it. Thank y'all, gentlemen. Anything else?
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.